Hello and welcome. My name is Tim Shaw. I'm the Government Affairs Director with the Pacific West Association of Realtors. I'm pleased to have joining me today the Mayor of Anaheim, Mayor Tom Tait. Mayor Tait, welcome.
Tim, it's good to be here.
Well, we have a lot to talk about, so let's jump right into it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Tom? How long have you been the mayor and what's your background?
Well, I've been the mayor for 5 years. I won my re-election last November. Before that, I'd spent 10 years on the city council from 1994 to 2004, where I was termed out as a council member. 6 years I sat out. Didn't think I'd ever get back in politics, but I ran for mayor in 2010 on a platform of kindness and freedom, because I think it's really about, if you really want to change your city, you deal with the core values and the culture, and that's what I think, that's what I'm trying to do, and really create what I believe is a city of kindness, and changing the, kind of healing the city from within that way.
Well, fabulous. So when I think about Anaheim, there's a lot of thoughts that come to mind. Obviously, Anaheim is one of not only the biggest cities in Orange County, but actually in the state of California, one of the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. So
that's right. We're actually the biggest in Orange County. Just want to correct you there.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
And it's a city of about 350,000 people, which is, you think of Anaheim when Walt Disney came here in the mid 50s, we're about 15,000. So really one of the fastest growing cities in the country. And I think what's really interesting, it's one of the most ethnically diverse cities in the United States. There's an article a while back in USA Today referring to Anaheim as one of the new Brooklyns of the country.
Now, for folks who are watching and thinking about maybe purchasing a home in Anaheim or doing business in Anaheim, one of the big issues is always the schools. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about the schools and school districts in Anaheim.
Sure. If they're thinking about buying a home or opening a business, my answer is yes, they absolutely need to do that. What I'm most proud of is our neighborhoods. We have these great neighborhoods throughout our city, and they're anchored by schools. And our schools we have, I think, 7 different school districts, but the main ones in the center part of the city is the Anaheim City School District and Anaheim Union High School District. I would invite anybody who is interested to actually go visit the schools and get a feel. Any one of them. Our schools are fantastic. They're winning all sorts of awards. And a few years ago, several years ago, we had some challenges. So there might be some perceptions out there, maybe, that our schools are not doing well. It's just the opposite. So I would ask your realtors to call up a principal and just say, hey, can I come by and visit the school, and maybe go into a classroom or two and get a feel. They're going to be really pleased. The city school district, I've been particularly involved in. I mentioned kindness. Those kids, K through 6, did 1 million acts of kindness.
Wow.
And you talk about something great. So all that's character development. So not only academically are they doing great, but actual on all the character issues and the kindness issues, they're really doing fantastic.
Well, that really shows what leadership from the mayor can do, and I want to compliment you on bringing forward an agenda item of kindness that maybe most mayors wouldn't think to make as their platform. So that's wonderful, Tom. Now, I will confess that I spend virtually all of my disposable income with the Shaw family at Angel Stadium, so I wanted to ask you about Angel Stadium.
That's good to hear.
Of course, the Shaw boys are the biggest Angel fans that ever did live. So, of course, it's been in the news a lot. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about that issue and between the city, the negotiations between the city and Angels baseball?
Well, the negotiations, the way that works is it's closed session. So they're confidential, and I am bound to that confidentiality. So I can't say anything specific about negotiations that are happening or not happening. So unfortunately, I wish I could, but I can say that if you just look at that stadium, and I believe it's the best place to play baseball in the United States. It's ranked one of the top fan experiences. I think Bleacher Sports, which ranks these stadiums, a couple of years ago ranked it #1 in the nation as far as fan experience. It's easy access. You have three freeways coming together that you could easily park and go to the game and get home at a decent hour. The stadium was renovated entirely in the late '90s, and it's a first-class stadium that I'm very proud of. So some people wonder if I believe the Angels might leave. If they could find a better deal, I would expect them to leave. But I can tell you, there's no better deal. There's no better deal in baseball than playing at that stadium. So I'm confident, and I think the Angels want to stay there too. So.
Well, that's great. I wanted to ask you too about another issue with the short-term rental housing. So the city right now has a moratorium in place. So maybe you could explain what happened there and what's going on.
So the whole shared economy with Airbnb and whatnot, I think that's a really great thing. Where if you have a home and you go on vacation, you want to rent out your place for a couple of weeks, or rent out a room in your house. That's all very good. There's no problem with those issues.
Presumably, maybe someone who's coming to town, they just want to spend a week at Disneyland and Angels and kind of Orange County, so they're not renting there permanently, just on a very short-term basis.
On a short-term basis.
Yeah.
Where the problem happens is we have these neighborhoods, and they're great neighborhoods in central Anaheim, and some of these units come in, and there'll be maybe you get 25 people staying there, and if you're in a neighborhood and you have 25 people staying there at a home, that changes the nature of the neighborhood, and so that's what I'm concerned about, whether that affects, I think, the kind of the social infrastructure. So if you have, it's one thing, if you live next door to a family, you get to know that family, you create that community bond. If that family turns over every 3 or 4 days, or maybe they have other events or parties or things like that, then it disrupts the neighborhood, and that's what we're trying to figure out how to make sure the neighborhood stay intact.
So at this moment, it's still kind of a work in progress as far as what requirements or ordinances the city's going to have as far as dealing with these short-term rentals. Is that right?
We extended the moratorium for 6 more months.
Oh, 6 months. Okay.
And to try to figure out what the best practices are, and it's whether and if you are going to allow them, under what conditions.
So maybe in conclusion here, Mayor Tait, could you, is there any message you would like to convey to realtors or even the general public out there?
Well, realtors are, it's interesting, like we all know a lot of people, but there's certain people in your city who I call connectors, and they know a tremendous amount of people, and people come to them for advice and knowledge about your city. And I think realtors are those people. They are big connectors in the community. I mentioned that I ran on a platform of kindness. The reason I did that is really to help build community. We had a program called Hi Neighbor, and we still have a program called Hi Neighbor. It means neighbors, just encouraging people to get to know your neighbor, to connect through kindness, being the mortar that holds it all together, to create that really strong sense of community, where people know that they care for their neighbor and their neighbor cares for them. When that happens, people are just happier. And in those neighborhoods, I don't care if people won the lottery, they don't want to move from that neighborhood. That's really what people are looking for, and that's what we have in Anaheim. That's what we're nurturing. That's what we want to develop through the High Neighbor and Kindness program. Realtors are key to this, to developing that sense. I mean, if you meet a realtor, they're usually a key person in their community. They're involved in the nonprofits and the charities, all those things that really make your city great. And generally, I find they're really long on kindness. And I think it's just kind of goes with the nature of maybe the people business of being a realtor. So I'd like, the big ask of the realtors is spread the word that we're a city of kindness. That's expected. That's our ethos. And when you say you're from Anaheim, it's not really the location where you're from, it's really who we are. And we're a city of kindness. So that's a message I'd like to get out.
Well, that's fabulous. Thank you so much once again. Tom Tait, Mayor of Anaheim, and I'm Tim Schaaf from the Pacific West Association of Realtors, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tim.